Another Code Recollection arrives on the Switch very soon, so I wanted to take a look today at this series, as well as break down my initial impressions of the free demo that is available right now on the eShop. Now the games, they're considered cult classics, and this bundles together two. That's another Code 2 Memories and another Code Journey into Lost Memories. But my real big question is, do these adventure games warrant a playthrough in 2024? Well, that's what we're here to find out today. Now, if you do enjoy the video, remember to subscribe, helps out the channel a huge amount. Also, if you have played the demo yourself, let me know what you think in the comments. Now today I want to start with the history of these games. So weirdly, something I wasn't aware of until putting this video together, the first game, 2 Memories, was available in all regions on the DS, but the sequel, Journey into Lost Memories, didn't get such a treatment. It was on the Wii and only released for those in Japan and Europe. Now that's immediately going to be an exciting prospect for many of the fans out there. It's also worth knowing then, 2 Memories was known as Trace Memory in North America, so if that name didn't ring a bell, that is perhaps why. Now regarding reception for these games, the first sits at a 70 on Metacritic, while the sequel, slightly lower, it sits at 66. Now naturally, as with any reviews, opinions are mixed, but many questioned the targeted age range of that first game, stating it was a little on the simplistic side, puzzles especially, but many still praised its world building, presentation and characters. One quote I really liked was describing it as missed for kids. Now funnily enough though, a common complaint with the first game was the runtime, with many noting a completion time of around 5 hours. Well, they actually ended up fixing that in the sequel, where 15 to 20 hours is the suggested runtime, but there we got complaints of pacing issues. I think personally, if you like the characters, you'll no doubt appreciate that bump in time. All of this is to say it's not considered a perfect game, but fans adore it. That's often the case I find with cult classics. Over the years they gain that traction. Now whether that's deserved with this series is going to be hard for me to say. I am new to it myself, but it had me psyched to check it out, and so far I'd describe it as not disappointing. So why did it disappear after just the 2 entries? And I think it's safe to say here it's going to be sales numbers. The first week in Japan for the sequel, it was the 11th best-selling game that is less than 15,000 copies. So yeah, to me it's the age-old tale of not making a profit. But I think for fans, there's got to be an air of hope with this re-release. Could the game finally get the attention you feel it deserves? And could this even lead now to further entries? So let's talk about the demo, and this is going to be available to everyone. Just head to the Switch eShop to give it a quick download, and it covers the first chapter of that first installment. It's also worth noting then you can save the game here. That progress, it will carry over. It is also receiving a physical release for those that want a copy on their shelf, and this demo, it runs for roughly 1 hour of gameplay. As the game opens, we step into the shoes of Ashley, a young girl whose life is shrouded in, let's say, mystery and trauma. Now, Ashley, the daughter of researchers specializing in human memory, has a troubled past. Her parents, they disappeared in 1994, leading everyone to believe they're dead. And since then, she's been raised by her aunt Jessica. Now, plagued by recurring nightmares that hint at traumatic childhood events, Ashley's life takes an unexpected turn as her 14th birthday approaches. Basically, a strange package arrives containing a card and a device called the DAS, programmed to respond only to her. Now, this package also includes a note instructing her to meet her father on Blood Edward Island. So here the setting shifts to the secluded Blood Edward Island. Now accompanied by our Aunt Jessica, Ashley arrives with hopes of reuniting with her father. However, upon their arrival, her father is nowhere to be found. The situation then worsens when Jessica goes missing too, leaving Ashley alone to unravel the mystery. As the demo nears its end, Ashley encounters a ghost named D. Now this I did not expect, but it is visible only to her. D is actually grappling with his own issues. He has amnesia and is seeking to uncover the truth behind his own death. Together, now they form this unlikely alliance, and the demo concludes with Ashley and D standing at the threshold of Edward Mansion, surrounded by unanswered questions and of course this growing sense of intrigue. It's definitely a cliffhanger ending that has me ready to jump in for more. The gameplay has evolved significantly from its original DS version. While it was previously a top-down experience, this new build for the first game's transition to third person, that is something we actually saw in the Wii follow-up. Now players here have full control over Ashley's movement, including the ability to sprint, and also then the ability to interact with the world around you, so think finding items or utilizing the DAS device. The DAS actually serves multiple functions as well. It acts as a camera, a gallery, and it also provides a comprehensive overview of the characters encountered and the nature of their relationships with Ashley. This multifunctionality is going to be crucial to the gameplay. You know, the camera feature, for example, in particular, is going to be integral to solving puzzles. Basically, players are often, from what I've seen this far, required to gather information and data, such as codes for locks, making the DAS an invaluable tool for documenting and organizing this information in one accessible location. One aspect of the game that initially did honestly though strike me as problematic was the camera control. It is set very close to Ashley. It restricts the view of the surrounding world, and I found myself wishing for a slightly more pulled back perspective just to better appreciate the environment and look for clues. Moreover, the camera movement on the X and Y axis are just frustratingly slow. Fortunately, I discovered early on that the camera speed was set by default to a sluggish 20 out of 100. By adjusting this setting up to 70, significantly improved that responsiveness, and that is actually what you're seeing in the gameplay footage shown today. As for the gameplay itself, it's not overly complex. The game world is quite linear with a few small areas available for exploration. The primary focus seems to be on delivering a compelling narrative and presenting puzzles to the player with regular frequency. While none of the puzzles posed a significant challenge, a few did require some thought and effort to solve, I will say that. And also the puzzles vary in nature, including just in this opening hour or so, finding a bridge to cross, solving a lock puzzle based on different inscriptions in a courtyard, and then there was another lock-based puzzle towards the end of the demo near the mansion, and this one revolved around a pattern recognition task involving these two different door knockers. Overall of this far, I'd say the gameplay balances exploration with narrative-driven and puzzle-solving elements, and it's definitely engaging, but I wouldn't describe it as demanding. Of course, this is early game, but again, I'm going to refer you back to that quote from earlier in the video, missed for kids, so I'm not expecting this one to push us too far. Should you get stuck as well, you can even pull up clues in-game that push you through different scenarios. They can even direct you on where to go. So with this demo, what has it achieved for me? And that is, it's enticed me in. I want to know more about these characters. I have to see what occurred in the past that led to our parents' disappearance, and also there's a ghost. I mean, who wouldn't want to know more about that? Aside from the visual overall that looks great, we've seen a fair few changes here. Most notably, the game now features voice acting, and while it's not every single line of dialogue, it is frequent and it is featured for all of the game's many cutscenes. Do want to say as well, supporting this, the music and the environmental design just sounds fantastic. It also seems with a new perspective, locations have been expanded, making them fully explorable, meaning there should be new things to see for fans of the original. Finally, one thing that did surprise me with this actually was the lack of touchscreen controls. With its original release being on DS, I thought we would maybe be able to interact with puzzles via touch, but that's not the case, so I wanted to point that out. So overall, I think another Code Recollection could be a great thing for the series. Fans, first of all, are going to be more than happy to see it back, and then as someone new to it, I'm intrigued. Hopefully now this release brings with it a whole new fan base just like me. If you've also played the original, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on what you've seen this far. Is it what you expected, and does it deliver an experience that feels in keeping with the original release? Now, if you've never played it like me, also let me know your thoughts in the comments below as well. Is this going to be a game you are checking out? For me, I'm sold. I'll be there day one. Just these characters, this world, they have hooked me, and now I need to know more. And to me, that is actually a sign of what makes a truly great adventure game. So with that, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Remember to hit subscribe as well if you enjoyed the video. Helps us out a huge amount. And I'll see you all on the next one. Thanks everyone.